Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode I'll be doing June the 10th turn of my Breakout Normandy playthrough. I brought on the reinforcements. The Allies have got nothing coming on this turn, whereas the Germans have a Nebelwerfer brigade coming on at Rouen and the 3rd Fallschirmjäger division plus support assets coming on at Rennes. Current status, the Allies have 5 victory points. We're about to do Impulse A, so they've got an extra turn. The weather is clear. Let's look at the map. There was one thing I did forget to do last turn. There was this armoured unit I was in here, and I forgot to bring it on in the regroup phase. But that's all done. So reinforcements are ready to go. So we're over to the first German impulse. So I'm looking at this big stack of reinforcements here. Where to bring them on? They can be brought on pretty much anywhere along, well, area 38, 39 and 40 on the backboard here. However, we've got to remember the Allies have now got interdiction, so wherever they come on, they can enter the first area without being interdicted, but then from there on there is a chance of interdiction. So we don't want to push them too far because I do want to keep as much of these reinforcements as fresh as possible. So taking the big stack, the area in and around Quarantaine is the key point at the present moment, so I'm going to bring them in over here. So that's one movement point and the first area. Now anything that moves into here so will suffer interdiction. So I'm going to bring them in 2 at a time. So those 2 moving in there. Let's see if they get away with it. So a 1 will disrupt 1 it, a 2 and spent in that area. With a 5 and a 3. They both get through there okay. So that is 2 movement points so far spent. Now, ideally, I want them in this area here. So, let's push them on further. That's 3 movement points. Will they get there? 4 and a 2, they both do get there. I mean, the 4-1 could move further. The red and the white is the way I do it. Is the red is the first unit in the stack, and the white the second. They can't get into this area because there's a fresh enemy, so that would require 4 movement points. One of them could push into here, but you know what, let's turn those back over. The red was the one that got flipped, so the white could push into this area. So he'll need to avoid getting turned over. He rolls a 3, so he gets there fine. So that's those 2 completed. The next 2 move into Contes there. Both 3s, they're fine. Let's push into Pierre's or area 43. Both 2s, but that's as far as I want to go, so that's quite successful. The next 2. Into there, 2 and a 6. Right, so 6 top units, so that gets through to there. The 2, he stops there spent. So he's now in 1, 2, 3. That's as far as he can go. Turn there. The last 2. Five and a 4. They end up in that area successfully. Pushing on. 2 and a 3, so he has to stop. He'll push on into this area and then rolls the inevitable 1. There had to be at least 1, so he arrives, but disrupt 1 placed on him. Okay, that was in general quite successful. The Allies' first initiative on this turn. I think we're going to carry on with the policy of link up. So we'll start off with a fleet coming in and bombarding. Well, I think it needs to bombard this area here. So it's an 8 versus a 1. So it's 7 in the Allied favour. English is my first language. Alright, both sides roll a 9. So that will definitely flip both German units. And the impulse marker moves into the 0 spot. Okay, let's put that fleet back. Used. Okay. Again, there's not much the Germans can do about that. They can push a few other units into there. Or do they? They can't pull them out at the present moment. Is there anywhere else? Well, as we know, the Germans have got a little bit of force massed here now. There's no way they're going to be able to push the Allies out of Caen, but they definitely want to reinforce this. So they have got some artillery in here as well. So they could do bombardment to curtail the Allies' enthusiasm in that area. But we know the Allies are concentrating over at with the Americans at present. As we said, with the Germans haven't really got any options to do anything offensive in that area. So I think we'll reinforce Caen with these 3 German units, costing 4 movement points to enter the area. Now, do they want to blow this bridge? No, because that's how you get reinforcements in there. Okay, that's the German impulse done. Allied impulse, again, go back to over here, and we're going to fire off some artillery. 9, 10, 11 points worth. Do we need to use it all? No, we'll just use the core artillery. Bombardment. Actually, we won't even do that. We've got the aircraft back, so let's use the air support. So it's got a value of 5 in at the same area, and this doesn't advance the impulse track. So 5, defense of 1. I'll roll 6, Germans roll 7, so net difference is 3. Each one of those will become disrupt 1. Okay, so that's the American air done. Allied impulse done, but the impulse track does not move up. Okay, back to the Germans. Well, the Germans can obviously see what's going to come. I mean, I know what's going to come because I'm playing both sides. There's not much they can do, and they've got a very weak battery here. But it's firing at value of 1 against a defense value of 1. Oh, wait a minute, no. There are 3 batteries there that can counter batteries, so that even is not going to work. They can get more units into there, but it's not going to help. okay. Focus on where they can do something then. Right, so the Lear battery will fire into the British here. It's got a value of 4. That's it. 4 against a defence of 1. So it's 3 difference in the German favour. Germans roll a 7, Allies roll an 8. So that's 2. Net. We'll put them all on. Disrupt 1. Okay, well, again, continue with the plan. Let's zoom in a little bit on that link up, and we'll be attacking. So this will be the active area, and area 34. What's it called? Cats. Okay, we've got the 1st Division and the 29th. I think we'll just launch the 1st Division there, keeping the 29th fresh. Use the 1st Division as artillery support. So that will be... Now, we'll try and seize the bridge first. See if we can. It costs a movement point. It's only going to cost 3 turns there, so they've got the movement potential. To seize the bridge, it's probably the 5 or 6. Let's roll. The roll a 6. Can't see. Right, okay. Other modifiers for bridge seizure. +3 from a free area, which it is. Minus, is it a flooded boundary? It is not. There's no fresh defenders. So net +3. So that bridge has been seized. That just makes the assault a little bit easier. So that's 1 movement point. They're all spent as they come across. 6, 7, 8. Attack value. Integrity 9. Air support 10. And the artillery battery 11. Their own artillery, which I've flipped over already in that area. 11. German defenders have got 2, -1 for the disrupted 1. The 10 of the area, I think it was +1. Yeah, so that's 2. Not an enemy held bridge, not across the flooded boundary. And it's not a mandatory, it is a mandatory assault though. Yes, it is a mandatory assault because we're crossing into a fresh area which is not contested. So, defense of 1, 10 of 1, bridge 1. So net 3. 11 to 3. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Germans roll a 6, the Allies roll a 7. So net +1, so it's a 12 to 3 on the actual dice there. That's 9 difference, which is enough to eliminate both of those units. We've got 3 disrupt to eliminate. They've got 2 steps left each. That's technically an overrun, but the Allies have spent 3 to get into the area, +1 to seizing the bridge, 4. So they've got 1 movement point left. So let's see if they can seize this bridge. Seizing this bridge is going to be next to impossible because there's 3 German units in there, but this one is possible. Cost a movement point, attempt from a... No, I'm doing that wrong. Even if it's an overrun, it's got to be the active area. this is the active area because that's where I came from, so no, they can't seize that bridge. So they're finished. That's worth a victory point. Don't need that marker now because they control both sides. Victory point total goes up to 6. Remove the impulse marker onto the 1 space. And let's remove the dice. So as you can see, the Allies can pretty much go where they want, when they want, and how they want. There's not much the Germans can do other than shuffle around the defences as best they can. So the Allies can kick the Germans wherever they want to, they just can't do it all over the board as yet. German impulse. Again, not much they can do to respond to that. Let's move that out of the way. No. Can they do anything up here? They really don't have the attacking power. I mean, the Americans on the defence are worth 7. It is frustrating as the Germans, it really is. But that frustration doesn't make it an uninteresting game for the Germans. Their interest is trying to hold on, you know, in a desperate defence. Again, they've got no way of stopping the tide everywhere. It's just where they can slow it down as best as possible. The Allies are on 6. They only need 4 more victory points to actually win the game. They've managed to hold on to the initiative, so that's technically 7. So yeah, it's only 3 for a win. And Karen 10 looks brittle, that's 2. So what can the Germans do to stop this? Let's try and put some more units into this area to help out, at least bolster the defence a little bit. So these 2 units can move in. There they go. Yes, it does leave this area empty, but that bridge is German held, and that is a flooded area. So the Allies can't cross here, they can't cross here. So for the time being, it's safe-ish. Just gives the Germans a bit more depth in the defence there. However, the Allies have obviously got a counter-action to that, which is this big, nasty core artillery, which is going to fire into Karen 10 area. There's a barrage 9 using the 90th as support 10. 10, I think the 10 is 2 in Karen 10. Where's 2, yeah. That's 10 versus 2. Oh dear. The first time I know the Allies are really low. Lucky it's starting the first impulse. That's 2 versus 10. Is that worth surrendering the initiative for? That's a good question. All it means is that they haven't hurt the Germans at all there. We've still got the option of the 4th Division doing an attack. No, for the first time the Allies are going to use their advantage marker to cause a reroll. Right, so the Germans roll a 7, the Allies a 5. So the difference was 10 to 2. So it's now 15 to 9. So it's 6 difference. So all those get marked with 1, and that one becomes a 2. The impulse marker moves on to 2, but now the Germans have the advantage. Well, again, they haven't got much strong artillery, but in an effort to slow down what's happening here, this one little battery here will fire into quarantine as well for 1. One of the units from the 4th Division is the point unit, so it's 1 versus 2. So currently -1. The Allies roll 10, Germans roll 7. No effect. Okay. Allied offensive. This is an impulse 2. So Snake Eyes will cause a change in the weather. They will activate in here. And the 4th Division will be on the attack. So it's 6, 7, 8. Integrity 9. Air support 10 versus the best German unit in there is a defense of 3. Disrupt becomes 2, plus 2 is 4. 10 v 4. Okay. Better put the markers there because I will tend to forget, might get distracted by a moment. 10 v 4. Germans roll 7. To Allies 6, so it's 16. Versus 11, so it's 5 difference. Okay, well, let's eliminate. The first unit's got to take the losses or changes. That German unit, so we'll make him a disrupt 2. So that's 1. Eliminate the armour for 2. Make them both disrupt 2s as well. 3, 4. That was 5 difference, so we have to eliminate something else. The flak gun. So it's still contested. The Germans have not been pushed out. Okay. The impulse marker moves on to 3, and it's the German impulse. Well, they can't get anyone in there now, but they will be able to get someone in there at the beginning of next turn. So the question is, I know this is the German impulse, can the Americans finish that defence off before the Germans can reinforce it? There are a couple of units from the 90th here, or 1 unit. 2 units from the airborne. th Division could move 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. Does leave this area open though. I don't know what I'm going to do there as the Allies. And if I don't know what I'm going to do there as the Allies, I don't know what the Allies are going to do as I'm a German. But that doesn't really help the German situation there. They've got no one fresh really. They've got these 2 units here. They can't really get into there. There's no fresh anyway, so it's going to cost 1, 4 to get in there. And that was severely, well, I wasn't severely weak in it. Yes, let's reinforce that now, just in case. Alright, so we activate this area. We will move 1 German unit into here for 1, and then into here for 4. Will he get there though, because of the interdiction? He rolls a 6, so he does. So he's not fresh, but at least he's not teetering on the edge of destruction. So that to clear that area, the Allies would have to inflict 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses to clear that area. And it is now the Allied 3rd impulse. Would they do it? It is a weakened assault. The maximum strength they can get would be 4, 5, 6. 6 the artillery. The artillery could fire first. Try and weaken it, but anyway, it would be a 6. It's across a friendly bridge, so it's still 6. So it's not mandatory offensive. And the Germans would be defending on 2, 4. We'd have to get a difference of 5. Interesting. Okay, this is the Allied 3rd impulse. So they feel that they still potentially have time. However, the Germans have the advantage. So they know they haven't got a re-roll option. So I'm going to activate this area here to spread this division a little bit. So moving in here for 1 and here for 2. Bring the artillery across 3. Potentially freeing up the 29th Division, as it now no longer needs to have defensive duties there. So okay, so no actual die roll required, but die roll still needs to be made. So impulse is 3, so Snake Eyes will end the turn. The 3 will change the weather, and it's a 5 that's rolled. So impulse track moves to 4. German impulse. Okay, also they can see what's coming. Can they get any more units in there? 29th Division is free. Can we get any more? There's a flak here. They can get there 1, 2, 3. No, that'd be 6. It's only got 5 movement. There is a flak unit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1, 2. Roll for interdiction. So it's okay. 3, 4, 5. Rolls a 1, so that gets in the space, has disrupted 1. Okay. That ends the German impulse. Fourth Allied impulse, we will activate this area, the 29th Division, to go. Well, now we've got to take out 7 steps. We know the Germans have got nothing else they can bring in there now. So, is it worth actually firing artillery from here? That's 5. Yeah, we will fire the artillery from here, so that's 5. Versus defence of 2, just to soften it up if we can. 5 versus 2 is impulse 4. Okay, so the Germans roll a 9. 6, the Allies roll a 9. So that's 9 plus 5. 14 versus 8. So that's 7 difference. These can't get any worse. 1, 2. They all go to level 2 disruption. Yeah, you can't actually eliminate a unit through artillery barrage. And you can't retreat it either. So that helped. Okay. Allied fourth impulse goes to 5 now. Back to the Germans. What are they going to do now? There is literally no one else with enough movement potential to get in there. There's 3 movements to come into an area with enemy in it. So no. Is there anything else they can do elsewhere? Is it worth softening up? The Allies here. Six, 7. Yeah. 8. 8 barrage into Khan. 8v4. Armour. Be the prime target. 8v4. Allies roll a 10. Germans a 6. So nothing. Would the Germans give up the advantage for that? I don't think so. So no. So no effect from their artillery. So Allied 5th impulse. So remember the turn will end for 4 or less is rolled. 5, weather change. And a big push now. There's only 4 steps of losses that the Germans can take there. Carry 10. The 29th. Activated. So artillery will move with it. It will not be able to participate. So that'll be 1 into here, 4 into there. Flip the artillery. So that'll be 5, 6, 7 on the attack. Air support 8. And divisional integrity 9. So that's a 9. Germans on the defence have got unit with a strength of 3, -2 disruption takes it down to 1, +2 is 3 for the 10. It's not a mandatory offensive. That is crossing an enemy held bridge though. It's not flooded. Okay, so it's another +1. So it's 4. 9v4. Germans need a really good roll here, because the difference is 5, which is enough to eliminate those units. Well, that worked out well for the Germans. 1, it ends the turn. Okay, 9v4 becomes 11v8. That's 3 difference. 3 difference. The Germans can actually take that. They will retreat 3 of those units back across the river, maintaining 1 unit there with a level 2 marker on it. 1 unit from the 91st. The Allies can't cause a reroll because the Germans have the initiative. And those 3 fall back to Pierre's. 29th spent. Quarantaine still held by the chin, by the skin on the chinny chin chin, by the Germans. So that ends that part of the turn. The what do they call it? Daylight movement and attack phase. Well, as I've been splitting these videos into, well, these days into 2 episodes, I will do the same and end this one at this point, leaving still the refit and the regroup phase for the next video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye internet.